I warmly welcome you to today's United Nations International Day of Older Persons, co-organized by the Office of the High Commissioner of Human Rights, the Global Alliance for the Rights of Older People, GAROP, the International Federation on Aging, and the NGO Committee on Aging, Geneva. Whether you are joining us in person in this gray and rainy Geneva, or connecting with us online from across the globe, your presence and commitment are deeply appreciated. Let me begin by saying this is not a standard UN International Day of Older Persons. It takes place at an historic moment. Just months ago, after the Human Rights Council adopted on April 3rd a resolution establishing an intergovernmental group working to draft a United Nations Convention on the Rights of Older Persons. This indeed is a moment to celebrate. Both the adoption of that resolution and the unwavering commitment shown by the group of friends of older persons and the decisive engagement of civil society across the globe, as well as the great job by the United Nations, UNDESA, OHCHR, WHO, ILO, UNFPA, UNITAR, UNESE, etc. These developments, this momentum, and this shared determination will undoubtedly shape the road ahead, not only towards the adoption of a convention, but also in changing the way we address aging issues in our societies. At the same time, we must acknowledge that for many older persons, while we meet, deliberate, work, and aim for resources, their daily life still brings little to celebrate. Too many continue to be invisible, neglected, or excluded. That is why today is not a day for complacency. It is a day to raise our voices. It is a moment of affirmation. Older persons exist. We are part of humanity. Our lives and livelihoods matter equally and at every age. Actions here in Geneva at the Human Rights Council are crucial, but many decisive choices will be made in New York, where resources are allocated, and in Doha, where the social summit will soon take place. These are the arenas where words must become commitments. We call on member states to ensure that older persons are fully included in these agendas. Without dedicated resources and explicit recognition, the promise will remain incomplete. This is the moment to match commitments with action. The truth is simple. Older persons are not asking for charity. They are asking for recognition. Recognition as right holders, as contributors to society, and as equal participants in development and governance. The group of friends of older persons, member states from every region, the United Nations, and civil society organizations across the world have poured time, energy, talent, and resources into this effort. Numbers matter. By 2050, 1 in 6 people worldwide will be 65 or older. But beyond numbers, each human being matters. Each story of dignity, resilience, and neglect should move us to action. One older person hostage is one too many. One older person killed in an armed country is one too many. One older person ignored is one too many. One older person's abused is one too many. One older person without social protection is one too many. The adoption of the resolutions gives us hope and is inspiring and motivating all parties. The convention the working group will draft will not create new rights. It will simply ensure that the rights we all share are fully recognized in older age without exception or delay. Today's United Nations International Day of Older Persons program reflects this broad coalition behind the process. Governments, UN agencies, civil society, academia, and youth. We will hear high-level contributions from New York and Geneva, as well as from the United Kingdom. UN agencies will bring perspectives, NGOs and academia will share their expertise, and even a young activist will remind us that aging is a concern of all generations. Before we begin, allow me to warmly welcome our distinguished panelists. With us here in Geneva, we have Mr. Tomas Lamasnauskas. Thank you very much for being with us. Mrs. Chitralinka Masei, Mr. Tim de Meyer, Mr. Cherno Marina, Mr. Zvezdan Pirtosek, Professor, Mr. Mohamed Shehadat, and Mr. Maciek Kusharsik. Joining us online will be Ana Chaviera and Professor Michael Stein from Harvard. We're also grateful for the recorded messages from Mr. Gregor Sneldon and Ilse Brands. Your presence and contributions in different forms send a powerful signal. The rights of older persons unite us across institutions, disciplines, and continents. Allow me to thank all our distinguished panelists and partners for their contributions. And now, with great pleasure, I hand the floor to our moderator, Sylvia Perel-Neville, Vice Chair of the NGO Committee on Aging, Geneva. The floor is yours, Sylvia. Thank you very much, Ambassador. And I will start on what was mentioned by Ambassador Fioradori from Argentina, gratitude. Gratitude for all of you to staying of such a long session, but I think it's extremely, extremely rich. And it happens once a year only. So I think it's really worthwhile. This is, for us, is not a side event, it's the event. And it's like putting the family together and express our feelings and our talents and everything. So I'll be brief, but I would like to mention that it really makes a difference from one IDOP to the other. When we met last year in a room ago, the sense of enthusiasm and of having done the homework was not there. There was much more uncertainty. What will happen in the spring of 2025? Nobody was sure. We were all hoping that it will happen, but nobody was really sure. But now the ambience is completely different. I really feel that we are on the top of the wave and that we are all really willing to engage into it. The resolution was adopted and it changed actually the two most important things that to change and more difficult to change. It's the will and the attitude and the mindset. And I think that we have changed the will, the attitude, and the mindset to put older persons' issues in all of our agendas. And in each one of the dimensions, so we have food for thought, we have mostly food for action. So now we have to move, and I think we don't really have to be fooled. It's not a done deal. There's still lots of work to do, and we have to work together. And as Ambassador Fioradori mentioned, our strength is working together. It's not leaving any partner behind. We're all partners, governments, UN, civil society, we're all in the same thing. And I will end, just to be extremely brief, as what Ambassador Pipan from Slovenia mentioned. Liaise with your missions in New York. We have to work together between Geneva, New York, and Vienna, and the whole world, but liaise with their missions in New York. And if you allow me, I would like to invite you to attend the IDOP in New York. It's not the repetition, it's complementary, and it really sets the agenda that is going to happen in New York and that will have an impact in Geneva. So my apologies for the NGO committee in Vienna, because they are having their IDOP as we speak, just exactly at this moment. But the recordings of the three of them will be put in our corresponding websites. So thank you very much, our gratitude, and let's keep the work together up. Thank you very much.